have a look at how to install a free open source email server. In this video, we're going to look at hMail server as an email server. So you can see I have got a hMail server 5.6.8 version. This is the beta version, the latest version. So I'm going to install this on a Windows Server 2016, and then we're going to configure an email client on a Windows 10 machine and then send and receive emails. So of course you can see that we can send emails from here to external email domains, but we can't receive it because I don't have a registered domain name yet. So before we start, I'll confirm that this has got a domain controller called facetnet.com.au. So I'm going to install the software, hMail server email software on this computer. So let's go on and install that first. It's pretty straightforward. Just click next and select the folder where you want to install. Yep, continue. I'm going to use the built-in database if you wanted to use it on a real large production, so you can have your own external database and run it. But here, since it's a testing environment, I'm going to use the built-in database with Microsoft SQL Connect or compact Microsoft SQL database. So the email server name, so where we're going to install, so this is the folder that we will see. And then the password for me to manage the email server. So I'm going to give a password, which is my usual password. So I have given my password and then click next, done, install. Right. So the installation is done, finished, click finish. There you go. That's the portal where we're going to connect and manage the SQL server, hMail server. So click connect. It's going to ask you the password. Enter the password, done. So this is the administration or hMail administrator portal. So in this we can add the domain, right? So here we can go add the domain. So I'm going to say facetnet.com.au. facetnet.com.au is the domain name that I'm going to use it here. Click save. Right, so now the domain is been added. Now we can create user accounts here. So let me create the first username called Sati and give a password for that user. Right, so you have alternative options here, the levels of privileges, so you can configure whether it's a user or other things, and the logon times and everything. But of course you can see we have various options here. So let's make it very simple. So I'm going to create the account. The account is created. For me to test, I need to have at least one more account. So I'm going to add one more account. So the other email address maybe I have is right. So I create another account. Right, account is created. Save. Right, so we have got two accounts and all good. So these email servers are quite intelligent. So they have got like additional options. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into advanced auto ban, and I'm just going to say like don't ban the IP address, because what happens is if you try to log into the hMail server with wrong username password 3 times, it will lock the IP address, so then you can't send and receive emails. So I'll just remove that part just for the testing purpose in case if there's any mistakes. Of course you can see the various option IP range. So first save that. This is the IP range. It's going to use it, public IP, my local IP address and everything. It has got every features as every other email server's got, right? So you can see backup, diagnostic, IP range, SSL certificate, anti-spam, everything is here on this server. So the email server is configured, but remember, for us to make sure to send and receive emails properly, we must have a DNS record, MX record. So I'm just going to go to my DNS server. So this is where I have my DNS forward lookup zone. I'm just going to create an MX record and I'll leave that blank. I'll point that MX record to my server. This is where I'm running the email. So my MX record is being configured. So in case if someone look for email server, that will have to redirect to Windows 2016. Windows 2016 is what this server, right? So the MX record is configured. Right, let's move to Windows 10 machine. Log in here. I'm going to log into this Windows let's log into this as yeah, that's not in the domain, I believe, so we'll need to add this machine to the domain to make it better, because in real environment you will have all the workstations in the domain environment. So I'm going to add that to domain. Let's see, let's confirm it's in the domain. Change adapter option, so it's not in the domain. Let me check, because I don't have DHCP, so I'll have to assign IP address manually. Yeah, so my DNS is 4 here, right? Apply, close. You can come back and reconfirm that it is 4. So definitely it's 4. So let's confirm by pinging to that DNS name. So ping facetnet.com.au. Yep, I can see it's pinging. Right. Let's do Dns Lookup. Oh no, we don't need Dns Lookup, so we'll come back later on. So that's done. So let's go to Thunderbird. I believe I have configured an old email with that, so I'm just going to delete those previously configured accounts so that I can show you how to configure the account. So let's go to account settings, remove those configured account, remove the account, remove. Okay, I'm going to remove the second account, removed. Yep, so all the accounts we had on this server is been removed now. Right, now this is pretty much a new email client. So I'm going to go add, so my first email is sati@facetnet.com.au and the password, and click continue. It's going to look for the email server facetnet.com.au. It's trying to find out. Let me see. So it's still looking for email server. Yep, I found, but it couldn't resolve the complete name. I know we will configure that later on. So for the time being, I'm just going to give the name Win 2016 is my server name, and retest. That's the complete name, so it's fully qualified domain name of my email server. Failed for testing. Right. Let me find the reason why. Alright, I found the reason why it blocked, had an error message. It was just the firewall, so I just turned off the firewall for the time being to test it. It worked, but then we'll have to make sure that the firewall ports must be turned on. For emails, you can go back to the server and turn on. So once it turned off the interface, or once you accept those port numbers for incoming connections, that's it. Click done. It's asking for certificate warning. Click OK. Done. The account is being configured. Similarly, I can add another email account on this same mail client for me to just test it. So I'm going to add another account. Say the other account. That's my other account. So I'm just going to copy that with facetnet.com.au and the password. Keep the password. Continue. Yep, IMAP pop, so I'm just picking IMAP. That's fine. Certificate done. So now we can see there's 2 email accounts, right? Let's do a test mail by sending a test mail from here to at facetnet.com.au. Let's say test email, my first email. Click send. Done. It's gone. There you go. The email is here, right? We can reply back. Right. I'm going to send it back. Let's come back and check this email box. The email is here. What if I send this to a Gmail, right? So I'm just going to send it to a Gmail account, say for example at gmail.com. First external email, testing my email. Right, click send. it's gone. Let's quickly go back to Gmail. We will have it, we'll give some time to get the email. Now you can see this is under my spam folder. I know the reason, because there's no certificate, so nothing at all. There's no DMARC record or any other record, so definitely that's going to get their spamming. So I can see it's already in the spam mail, but unfortunately I can't reply. If you reply back to this email, testing reply, right, this is not going to work because we have no idea where is face8net.com.au, because it's not been a registered domain. So how do I know that? You can go to MX toolbox and you can just have a look by looking or by searching face8net.com.au. So if you do a MX lookup, you're not going to find about it. Right, see, we don't find anything, right? There's no DMARC records or any records, so definitely there's going to resolve. But what you can do, you can register this domain name face8net or .com.au in your crazy domain, and then go back to DNS manager, add your IP address of your email server, public IP address of your network. That's it, it will work, right? So it's here. If you send it, you're going to get a bounce back message, spam message, blah blah. Let me go back to virtual machine and send another email. A second email, send. Right, if I get a spam mailbox, right. So pretty much the email is working. That's all about email server configuration, right? So it's very simple. This has got complete configuration, so you can do almost everything that you need to do with the email services. So hMail server, it's a very simple email server. It can work for your basic needs, right? A very simple email server. But if you want to do further configuration, you can do groups, you can create anything, right? You wanted to create an alias, you want to create a distribution list, you can create email rules here, you can create rules, right? So it's pretty full on email software, right? Okay, thank you.